Did you know that Mercedes has such a huge advantage over Ferrari that Leclerc considers it almost impossible to overcome? Today we'll reveal in detail how George Russell and his team have achieved brutal performance compared to the SF25, and why this could define the 2025 season. Stay until the end because we're going to analyze the technical details that make the Mercedes almost unbeatable in certain parts of the circuit. During the Chinese Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc revealed a key detail that is making the difference between Mercedes and Ferrari this season. In the fast corner sequence of the November 12-13 sector in Shanghai, the Mercedes car gained up to 0.5 of a second per lap. A huge advantage that puts Ferrari in a difficult position and could define both teams' advantage throughout the year. Telemetry data shows that the key lies in the Mercedes traction and acceleration out of corners. While Ferrari's SF25 tends to lose stability and requires constant corrections from the drivers, the Mercedes car maintains optimal traction, allowing George Russell and Andrea Kimi Antonelli to launch with greater speed onto the straights. One of the factors that explains this difference is Mercedes' work on its rear suspension. With a design that optimizes weight transfer and allows for better power delivery to the ground, the German car achieves greater grip at critical moments of the lap. Unlike Ferrari, which is still struggling to find an ideal balance between downforce and efficiency in fast corners, Mercedes has managed to ensure its car maintains outstanding stability even in situations of high mechanical demand. Another key point is the configuration of the diffuser and the flat floor. Mercedes has developed an aerodynamic package that maximizes ground effect, generating a cleaner airflow that allows for higher speeds in medium and high-speed corners without compromising stability. Ferrari, on the other hand, still suffers from some inconsistency in rear downforce generation, forcing its drivers to compensate with handling adjustments and improved tire management. The SF25 has been 99% redesigned compared to its predecessor, but it still presents challenges in terms of weight distribution and response in the traction zones. While Mercedes is managing to transmit power to the asphalt more efficiently, Ferrari continues to struggle with degradation issues in certain tire compounds, which affects its performance on long runs. Leclerc noted that while Ferrari has improved in several areas compared to the previous year, the gap with Mercedes in terms of traction and stability remains considerable. This gap is especially evident on circuits with high-speed corners and areas where acceleration off the line is crucial for lap times. If Mercedes maintains this advantage, it could become a serious contender for wins on circuits where these characteristics are key. Ferrari, for its part, will need to find a quick solution if it wants to stay in the championship fight. Ferrari has made a huge leap forward in quality with the SF25, but it still faces issues that keep it a step behind Mercedes and Red Bull in certain key aspects. Charles Leclerc has been clear in pointing out that, although the team has made progress in areas such as aerodynamic efficiency and qualifying performance, there are still limitations that prevent the car from consistently competing for victory. One of the main challenges lies in the inconsistency of the car's balance throughout a race. While in qualifying the SF25 can be competitive thanks to its ability to generate grip with fresh tires and low fuel loads, on long runs the story is different. Tire degradation remains an issue on circuits with high-speed corners, where Ferrari tends to lose performance compared to Mercedes. The car's design is highly sensitive to changes in track conditions and aerodynamic setup. This translates into greater difficulty finding a setup that works optimally in different scenarios. While Mercedes and Red Bull have developed cars with a wider range of adaptation options, Ferrari still relies on precise adjustments that, if not executed perfectly, can compromise performance. Another aspect that has affected Ferrari is the power delivery of its power unit compared to that of Mercedes. Although the Ferrari engine is powerful and efficient in qualifying, the torque delivery on corner exit is not as progressive as that of the Mercedes engine, creating difficulties with traction and forcing drivers to be more careful with throttle application. On circuits with many low and medium speed corners, this factor has been a major disadvantage. The efficiency of the energy recovery system is also an area where Ferrari has not reached the level of optimization of Mercedes. While the Germans have achieved a perfect balance between regeneration and the deployment of electric energy to maximize acceleration, Ferrari still experiences some variability in the performance of its hybrid system, which in some cases has affected the SF25's ability to maintain consistent race pace. In terms of strategy, Ferrari has also struggled to react quickly to changes in the race. While the team has improved its decision-making under pressure, there remains a gap compared to the operational precision of Mercedes and Red Bull. This has been reflected in some strategies that have left Leclerc and Hamilton in compromised positions, especially in races where weather conditions or safety car periods have altered the initial plans. The SF25's aerodynamic package, although advanced, still presents challenges in generating downforce in fast corners. This has resulted in less stability compared to the Mercedes, forcing drivers to work harder with the steering wheel to keep the car on the ideal line. On circuits like Suzuka or Silverstone, where corner speed is crucial, this disadvantage becomes more evident and puts Ferrari in a difficult position against its rivals. Despite all these obstacles, Ferrari is not far from finding a solution. The team has been working on constant updates, and the pace of development will be key to closing the gap with Mercedes and Red Bull. However, until they manage to resolve the inconsistency in the car's balance, improve traction, and optimize the race strategy, they will remain a step behind in the fight for the championship. Ferrari is not at an irreversible disadvantage. Although Mercedes has demonstrated technical dominance in key areas such as aerodynamic efficiency and tire management, the Scuderia has the resources and talent to close the gap in the coming months. However, to achieve this, the team needs a clear strategy and continuous improvements in specific areas that have been its weaknesses until now. The first key aspect for Ferrari's recovery is aerodynamic development. Although the SF25 has shown significant progress compared to its predecessor, it still exhibits instability in fast corners and struggles to maximize downforce without compromising straight-line speed. The technical team led by Enrico Cardile is working on modifications to the car's floor and adjustments to the diffuser to improve aerodynamic efficiency without incurring a drag penalty. Another key factor in Ferrari's recovery is tire management. While Mercedes has optimized its car to extend the life of its compounds, Ferrari continues to suffer from degradation during long runs, especially on circuits with high temperatures or those that require significant effort through corners. Ferrari's engineering department is analyzing new suspension settings and more intelligent use of engine maps to reduce tire stress and improve race performance. The team is also working to improve the efficiency of its power unit. Although the Ferrari engine is competitive in qualifying, power delivery under race conditions continues to show areas for improvement. In particular, the hybrid system needs better management of energy deployment to ensure more consistent performance throughout a run. Engineers are fine-tuning the energy recovery and redistribution systems to reduce fuel consumption and improve acceleration out of corners. One area where Ferrari has shown progress, but still needs more consistency, is race strategy. Decision-making during Grands Prix has improved compared to previous seasons, but there is still room to optimize pit stops and the ability to react to unforeseen events such as safety cars or sudden weather changes. Communication between the pit wall and the drivers is an area the team is placing special emphasis on to avoid errors that could jeopardize Leclerc and Hamilton's position on the grid. The pace of development will also be decisive for Ferrari's recovery. The ability to bring efficient updates at each stage of the championship will make the difference between staying in the fight or losing ground to Mercedes and Red Bull. If Ferrari manages to introduce aerodynamic and mechanical improvements in a competitive time frame, it will be able to close the gap on its rivals in the second half of the season. Furthermore, the human factor will be crucial in the team's recovery. Charles Leclerc has proven himself a driver capable of extracting the maximum from the SF25 in qualifying, but he needs a more stable car to compete in race conditions. Lewis Hamilton, with his experience in tire management and strategic ability, can be an active key in guiding the car's development and providing solutions that help Ferrari find the ideal balance. Ferrari has the potential and resources to make up ground, but success will depend on its ability to implement improvements efficiently and consistently. If the team can solve its degradation issues, improve its strategy, and close the gap in aerodynamic performance, it can become a serious title contender in the second half of the season. Ferrari is at a crossroads. The gap to Mercedes is clear, but that doesn't mean the season is lost. With the right resources and a well-executed strategy, the Scuderia can still make up ground and once again become a serious championship contender. The question is, can they react in time to challenge the dominance of Mercedes and Red Bull, or will they fall behind in development while their rivals continue to evolve? Ferrari's future this season will depend on its ability to implement key improvements to the SF25, optimize its race strategy, and manage its tires more efficiently. With Charles Leclerc seeking his first title and Lewis Hamilton deciding to prove his worth with a new team, the pressure is on. Now the conversation is open. Do you think Ferrari will be able to match the performance of Mercedes and Red Bull in the remainder of the season? Or do you think the gap is too large to close in such a short time? Share your opinion and analyze with the community what chances the Scuderia has of returning to the top. If you want to stay close to every update, every improvement and every strategic move from Ferrari in its fight for the championship. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Here you'll find in-depth analysis, news, and everything you need to know about the world of Formula One. This is just the beginning of a season full of surprises. In the next analysis, we'll explore how Red Bull is managing its strategy to stay on top and which teams could challenge its dominance in the upcoming races.